Hello YouTubers, Dr. Pokemon here. Gonna speak to y'all myself with using my own voice. Hey, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah? Alright, first time ever, listen up good. Um, well, I created this new YouTube channel and I was planning on doing some video tutorials to teach people how to gen properly. For anyone new to that term, um, the point is that you can pretty much anybody can make whatever they want to make in terms of their Pokemon with its move sets and abilities and natures and shiny or not shiny, yada 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 yada. Which ball it was caught with, where it was caught at, what time it was caught, how, just all of that. It's it's really not that hard to figure out the programs and the software and stuff. If you got half a brain, it only really takes one half of your brain. Not even a whole half, but anyway. As long as you got a functioning left side to your brain, you can gen. Well, you have to have some specific hardware too, but the point is, anybody could really do it. But, you know, if you make something like a Gen 6 Pokemon, and that would be a Pokemon caught or hatched within the newest games, X and Y, or Mega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. But they have a move that they can only learn from a move tutor in a previous version of the game. Well, obviously that's hacked. I mean, we all know you can't put eggs into Pokemon Bank to get them into Gen 6. So, how could it have an egg move from a previous game either, as far as that goes? Which I'm not even really entirely sure right offhand if that's possible. But the point remains, it obviously could not have a move tutor move if it's only taught by a tutor in a previous game. And I've seen stuff like this happen before. And I've seen some more obvious things like this happen before. Now, let's not forget the guy who got disqualified after winning the VGC championships because he had an Aegislash and a Dream Ball. Now, if you don't understand why that's possible, why that's not possible to have an Aegislash and a Dream Ball, you really need to check out Cerebi.net. You can probably find information about it on Bulbapedia, but I don't trust wikis. And I'm pretty sure Smogon would tell you to, or Smogon, or Smogon, however you pronounce it. I have no idea. I'm still trying to figure out where they got that name from. I can't find any etymology on it at all. Anyway, you can't. It's illegal. It's obviously a hack. That's why he got disqualified. After he won, and they realized, well, even though all that's wrong with it is that it's in a ball that it was caught with a ball it can't possibly be caught with. Um, you know, they realized obviously it was a hack, and they disqualified him. So this is why I actually use resources like Cerebi.net to find out which Pokemon can learn which moves in which games. And as far as Pokeball inheriting goes through breeding, all that information I actually found on an article on Smogon's website. Smogon, however it is, the big S guys, let's just call them that. So I found a page on the S guys site, and it was explaining which balls can be inherited and which balls can't, and whatnot. And they have a very comprehensive breeding guide on there. Okay, I mean it's definitely worth checking out. I usually don't go to that website for anything because I just it's a competitive scene website and all that. I'm not really into that stuff, but I got to read about it if I'm gonna gen something properly. And comes back to what I said. I was gonna make some video tutorials on how to gen properly. Well, you can use all these resources and find out what is actually legitimately possible. and then you make that Pokemon to match those parameters. Now, there's a lot of so-called alleged self-professed Genners out there using power saves. Well, you can't really edit that stuff all that well with power saves, and if you can, it's long, time-consuming, tedious process usually because it's difficult to add certain combinations of codes or too many codes together at a time, and then you have to go into the game, load the game, save the game, hook it back up to the power saves, apply more codes to the Pokemon, rinse and repeat until finally you get it completely done. However, there's no way for you to test that out or to check out the data to make sure everything is working properly until you actually go to trade it. And then if you don't, well, guess what? You're back to square one trying to figure out what screwed up, where, and how, and why, and trying to fix it. I don't use that. I'm going to reveal right now, yeah, I use PK Hex. And do you know why? Because it lets you edit everything directly. It's in an easy to use form. You can change a lot more than you can change on power saves, including exactly which game it came from, and exactly what date it was caught, or hatched, whatever, or received, or traded, or whatever, obtained in any way, shape, or form. All of that. And you can see it all right there on your screen. And, well, so far I have yet to have very many Pokemon that would not trade over Wi-Fi by using PK Hex. So, there you go. There's how you do it properly. But that's not what this video is about. What this video is about is why this video has no video, really, because I have my lens cap on. I'm aware of that. I probably should have said that before getting about 7 minutes into the video, but yeah, I'm aware I have my lens cap on. You can't see anything, that's fine. You don't need to see anything. The message is not visual. The message is what I'm telling you right now. And that message is that this is all the stuff that I was intending on doing with this channel. It was going to be very entertaining and informative, and I'd love to give you a taste of it, but certain things have been happening in my life, and because of those, I can't really gen anymore. And it's not that I don't have the right hardware. It's not that I'm just like, oh, woe is me, I'm too depressed. No, it's because the only time I seem to gen, it seems to be for people who want these things for competitive use, and I don't have a problem with that. I gen very well. I've never had any complaints. Nobody's ever been disqualified or not been able to take their Pokemon in a battle spot. And if they have had a problem like that, they've traded it back. I've figured out what it was. Usually figured out what it was before they traded it back. And they trade it for the fixed version. All the problems are solved. You know? I mean, nobody's perfect. Sometimes I miss something. But if the Wi-Fi trade, that's usually a good indication that they're in the clear. However, I do research very deeply before I gen the Pokemon. Which is why, yeah, I can get you one in like 5 minutes. Maybe even faster. And that's getting online to trade it and everything. You know, a lot faster than a power saver. However, you know, if I do take the time, I'm going to get it a lot more accurate than a power saver. And I can verify it because all the info from that Pokemon's data is displayed right there on the screen instead of me just selecting codes and wondering what worked and what didn't. And, oh, why did it fail to apply the codes to my save? That's what power saves does sometimes. Anyway, what I'm saying, they want me to gen for them competitively. For them to use the Pokemon competitively. Okay, that's all well and good. Well, the thing is, nobody comes to me with something because they're having trouble breeding it. Nobody comes to me with something because they'd love to see how it works, but they can't quite get their hands on it. You know, no. People come to me. They want the event mythicals that you can only get through an event, and there's a very limited amount of them because most of these events, as far as I'm aware, every event Pokemon is a limited time event. You don't think Nintendo knows how many of those are going around out there? I mean, every time you trade over GTS, you can't trade mythicals over GTS. This is an example. You have that little gamer sync ID, so you can do the online competitions and stuff. Now, they're tracking every GTS trade you make. I think they track the PSS trades through the player search system too. Not sure if they do that openly on your profile on the Global Link website, but they're tracking it. They know, which is why some people have had their cartridges and even their DSs net blocked, as I call it. They cannot get online with their Pokemon games, that same cartridge and that same DS, ever. Now they can restart their game save. They have to get a new game sync ID. That can work. But some really, really repetitive offenders of this, offenders from Nintendo's point of view, or Game Freak, or whoever runs those servers and makes these net blocking decisions, they've actually had their DSs blocked. Now, not from all online use, just from using the Pokemon game online. Now, they can get a new cartridge, that might work. They can put the same cartridge in a different DS, that might work. But if they want to do online competitions, and that online competition game sync ID gets blocked, well, they're SOL. So, but kind of losing my place here. The point is, that's all people want, is they want you to deliver something that you should definitely not be delivering. I'm getting tired of people asking me for unreleased Pokemon. I want Ash's Greninja. I want AZ's Floette. I want Volcanion. Can you get me those? Hey, can I have a Volcanion, please? Okay, you need to, these people first off need to learn. If it's not been released, I can't release it to you. There's a little thing called filters on the servers. And these filters also filter out specific species of Pokemon. Now that quote-unquote Ash Greninja is a completely separate species from Greninja. I can't trade it to you because, in their opinion, it does not exist. The filter does not know it exists. When you try to send that data over, the filter just goes, I don't know what this is, and sends an error message saying the Pokemon can't be traded. That's how it works. The same with Volcanion, the same with AZ's Floette. The same with Hoopa for a while there. That's how it goes. So, no, I can't give you a Pokemon that's not released. Unless you want to come meet me in person out here in the middle of, you know what, doesn't even matter. Unless you want to come meet me in person and trade through local wireless, which does not use the internet and doesn't run through the servers and therefore doesn't have to adhere to their filters, I can't get it to you. So, stop asking. Learn how to gin on your own, or wait for the Pokemon to be released. You know, do some reading. All of the mechanics about all of the games are all over Cerebi.net, and Smogon, what I'm just gonna call him Smogon, whatever. It's all over the internet. You meet me through the internet. You make your requests through the internet. How about use the internet to actually learn something? Go read. Anyways, my point is, I'm not ginning anymore because it's getting to the point where I'm just feeling like I'm being used. Nobody really appreciates what I'm doing for them. I'm just a tool for them to use so they don't have to figure out how to do it for themselves. And I'm not saying all the people who have requested stuff from me are like that. I'm just saying it feels that way, and I'm getting kind of tired of it. And it's getting to the point where when somebody asks me for something, I just want to tell them, you know what? Go figure out how to get it yourself. Because it's really getting old. I mean, it's really getting old. I've been through a lot of this for many, many years of my life, and not even counting the ginning Pokemon. And it's old. It got old real quick. And I used to enjoy it. I used to enjoy helping people out. But now they want whole teams for an online competition. I don't have time for that. They want me to give them stuff that can't be given to them, and then they question my abilities as a ginner when I tell them that it can't be done. And they say they're going to go to somebody else. And if that somebody else does figure out how to do it, it's usually something that shouldn't be done to begin with. Like giving out shiny Manapees. Look, all you need to know is they're extremely freaking rare. And the people running those servers are going to notice how many are suddenly popping up with the same identification numbers, because yes, they have two secret identification numbers on Pokemon: the Pokemon ID number, which is random, and the SID number, which is random unless it's an event Pokemon. Okay, you can't fool them. I mean, well, you can fool them, but if you don't know how to, you shouldn't be trying to. And also, like I said, they're going to know how many are floating around out there. The event to get Manaphy's are limited time, definitely, especially since the shiny Manaphy could only be obtained through an event called using a server called RangerNet, and RangerNet has been shut down for quite a while. So they know exactly how many Manaphys are out there. And if suddenly there's one more than there should be that is tagged with the data as coming from that event, they're going to notice, and they're going to start blocking those people. And if it's a shiny one at that, when the shiny one isn't even supposed to exist, that was a mistaken glitch on their part that they'd love nothing more than to get rid of all evidence of, they're going to start taking action. So, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't give you something that officially doesn't exist. I can't give you something that is in limited quantity. And no, I'm not going to gym Pokemon and take time out of my day on my break or my lunch half hour, because I only get a half hour for lunch at work. I'm not going to take that time out to trade you 10 Pokemon so you can get some rare candies. Okay, if you're that into battling, go to the battle resort or wherever, earn some battle points, and buy you some stuff. And I'm pretty sure they sell rare candies there. I could be wrong, because, I mean, I don't need to go there, obviously, so I could be wrong. But they've asked for many other things that you can buy for yourself using the battle points. If you're that into competitive play, why don't you try using the competitive play built into the game to go earn the battle points and buy the stuff? I mean, if you're not going to take the time to learn how to gen properly, go play the game properly. I may sound mean, I may seem like a bit of a jerk, and sorry about that, but I'm tired of feeling used, I'm tired of being misunderstood, and I'm tired of people questioning my abilities because I won't or can't do something for them that shouldn't be done to begin with. If it's not legitimately possible, I'm not going to do it. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. I can gen for all of you, but that doesn't mean I should. Good night. Stay stellar. Don't forget to play Pokemon Sun and Moon, coming out this holiday season 2016. Goodbye.